in the case to start with. Many more things that need to be done at this point in time, but Minnesota, this is our chance. And I would say this, with that curfew, it's June 1st. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. We are working simultaneously with this. I'll give you a little bit of an update at the end where we will talk about number of tests we're doing are still up. We tested 22 long-term care facilities. We are planning for massive mobile testing in the cities for folks. I would tell those of you who are out there peacefully protesting, again, if you're starting to get symptoms of COVID-19, please isolate. We will have to do some contact tracing, which I have not wrapped my mind around what that would look like in this size. But we want to massively test you. We want to get you in and get the help. We want to get a handle on that. But June 1st, we're having restaurants open up outside. It's going to be 85 degrees this afternoon. We've got restaurants across the state that are ready to do that. This is a time for community to gather outside in the early evening, experience what Minnesota has to offer, and let's have some of that happen. Let's get some of those things back going again. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Harrington, Department of Public Safety.
Thank you, Governor. John Harrington, the Department of Public Safety. We watched yesterday afternoon, as many of you did, two really startling events. We watched about 3 o'clock in the afternoon as between 5,000 and 7,000 people came to demonstrate at U.S. Bank. We saw moms with their kids. We saw elders from the community. We saw young people all coming together in what was a very large and a very peaceful demonstration at U.S. Bank Stadium. We also saw that group move onto the freeway, and then we saw what can only be described as that moment, well, I can't use that term in front of polite company, but when you saw the truck going into that crowd and you just winced because what you imagined you were going to see was bodies under the tires of that truck. And when you didn't see the bodies under the tires of the truck, it was, frankly, possibly a miracle. Because the driver was doing 70 miles an hour, as we understand it, or in that range, and even with hitting the brakes, and even with dry pavement, we got lucky, or there was something miraculous happening there. Once that happened, we continued our operational posture in terms of working through the curfew and working through our protest prevention, our riot prevention model. The rapid response team moved, and you could literally see it in real time. You could see the rapid response team, bikes and cars and trucks moving in to the protest area, around the truck, making sure that we could control what we thought might turn into another really bad situation. And the peace officers that responded to that responded with restraint, and they responded with care, and they were able to contain this situation in such a way that we really did feel like we had some control over it. It took hours to continue to move that along, and at the end of the night, we really did feel like the interaction was